I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus kids.
Good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. The problem with styling yourself as the woke prince of impregnable perfection is that you're bound to eventually slip up, and a lot of people will thoroughly enjoy it when you do. Take Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the man who, of course, said that the word mankind was offensive and it should be changed to peoplekind. He's a world-leading woke irritant, famous for virtue-signaling gestures like the one I just said. And last week, he hosted Ukraine's President Zelensky at the Canadian Parliament. Some special guests were invited.
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian-Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98. He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
Well, most people with a basic education would be aware that Ukrainian soldiers fighting against Russia during World War II were Nazis. Yaroslav Hunka, who's now aged 98, served in the 14th Waffen-SS division under Nazi command. I've no idea what he did or didn't do during the war, but I do know that he was a Nazi. And as a former Nazi, he probably shouldn't be getting a standing ovation from some of the most powerful people in the country. Hunka was invited by Canada's House Speaker, a member of Trudeau's party, who's now had to resign, leaving his leader, who happens to be one of the smuggest men of world politics, looking, well, rather less smug than usual.
It's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation, and continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine.
We must push back against Russian propaganda, says the man who's just sent a lifetime supply of gift-wrapped material to Russian propagandists. Russia's disinformation machine has spun the demented lie that Ukraine is now run by Nazis. President Zelensky, of course, is Jewish, making this entire fiasco even more insulting and ridiculous. It's not the first time we've seen Trudeau grovelling. Pictures infamously emerged of him in blackface. Actually, repeatedly he did that, which came as quite a shock to the many people he spent all these years assuring that he was the nicest, wokest person in the world.
I didn't understand how hurtful this is to people who live with discrimination every single day. I have always acknowledged that I come from a place of privilege, but I now need to acknowledge that that comes with a massive blind spot.
Of course, after that, several more pictures of Trudeau in blackface emerged. He eventually had to admit that he'd done it so many times he couldn't even remember how many times he'd done it. There is one thing, though, which Trudeau will never apologise for.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
Oh, Justin, just stop, man, person, whatever you want to call yourself. If you want to be the most ultra-woke leader in the world, that's fine. Look, I could do that too. Remember the rainbow alphabet? Don't wear blackface. Stop applauding Nazis with standing ovations. It's not that hard.